Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, Special Monday, episode 237. In today's video, I'm going to show you how the CAGED system connects to the major scale. And this is going to be really, really cool. Let me say hello real quick to Jeffrey Boyle. I'll give you a round of applause. Oh, where's my applause? Guess I don't hear the applause button for some reason. I don't know. Why is that? Did you guys hear that? Let me know if you hear my guitar. You should be able to. I don't know why I'm not hearing that applause. I think I switched the something in there. Let me just fix that real quick. Yep, I know what I did. Let me just do that. Fix this real quick here. I did something else. Let's put that back there like that. Okay, that should be good. You hear it. All right, here we go. Now you should hear the applause. Give myself a round of applause for the quick fix. All right. So this was, I kind of put this together real quick here. And it's going to be really, really cool. Hola, Ozman here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ozman. The Ozman cometh. All right, hola, Jeffrey. So this is gonna be really cool. This is a lesson on the CAGED system, and we're going to be playing the different shapes. I'm gonna play the major scale within each shape here. So it's kind of like this right here. Let's let me just show you here. Let's show you the shapes that we have of the CAGED system. Let's switch over to here. We'll start off with the C shape. All right. Now we're going to play in the key of G here today. But all this C shape means is that it's like a C chord shape. You see your C chord like this. We're going to bring it all the way up. Here. Bring it all the way up to G right here. Just like that. Key of G, just like this. So it's a G, but it's a C in the C shape. Now you can play the major scale within this shape right here, and it's really good to know. So if you see that red dot, hopefully you see that. I mean, I'm partially colorblind, but I could see that. Red and black right there. Follow the graph right here, and there's the C, there's the root, and there's the octave root right there. So if you're in this position right here, sonic G. I like the key of G for this because it's it just allows you to play right here. If I did E, you'd have some open strings. If I did C, you'd have some open strings right there too. We're doing that not in C. We're going to go all the way up to G. Plus I have a little backing loop that we're going to play along with in G. And just felt right to play it in G. So back to the scale right here. It's great to know the C shape. So, we talk a lot about the CAGED system and the triads. Right here, the G. These triads within that. So you have just this CAGED system right here. So playing this major scale should be the next step here. There's so many ways to play the major scale. Here's one really good way of playing it, because you know this chord, or this shape right here. Right there like that. So then you have that shape, and then you have the A shape, which is like this. Because you have your A chord like here. Right. If you go all the way up to here, to the G area, that's a G chord with this A shape. So you could play the major scale right off of this note. Follow it all the way through down. It's good to know just from A, just the roots. Just like the C shape one from root to root was like this. Back over to this A shape. You have this A from root to root. Because you never know what area you're going to be in. You never know what finger you're going to be in. So it's good to know. Oh, you might be over here. Same notes. All right. We got 2. So then we go to the next one here. We have this G shape. So just like a G, slide this all the way up to here. Well, it is a G. We're in the key of G here, so let's just do it right here. G shape. Actually, let's go all the way up to here, because I don't want to play the open strings down here like that. So we play just like this. Great way to play the major scale. There's a few fingerings to play the major scale, and it's good to know all of them. But here's one of them, and it really connects well with the chord shape, as you can see. Okay, there's one more right here. Actually, there's 2 more. E shape, we can go back down here for this one. So as you can see, there's an E shape. Like if you were playing an E chord, you just slide it all the way up here. Just like that. All right. Okay, so here's the scale. Fits perfectly. The scale's like, if you're right in this position, you could just play. Barely have to move your hand. And then there's one more, the D shape, because we spelled out CAGED, C-A-G-E-D. And then we have this one right here, which is like, just like here. Here's your D shape, right? Just like here's a D. If we play that all the way up here to the G, here's a G chord. Same shape. If you play this D with your thumb over like you normally do, right? A lot of people do that. Play the 3rd on the bottom. It's the same thing all the way up here. So here's the scale right here, and those red notes are the root right there. You can go down too. So there it is right there. And in a second, I'm going to go ahead and put on this G chord loop and just play through all of those shapes right there and show you how it's really cool. And then I have another loop of a 1-4-5, a G, C to a D, and we can play a 1-4-5 progression using just that major scale. It's not like the blues where you're going to play 3 different scales over it. You're going to play just the one major scale over a G, then a C, then a D, back to a G. Almost like bluegrassy type of thing. So if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Man, I was a little bit late. I was maybe 20 seconds late. I thought I was going to be more late, but I was putting this together and time just kind of crept up on me, and you know it is. Trying to get ready on time. All right, so what are you drinking out there? I have my my coffee, my Italian espresso. coffee, which is really only a couple sips left. How depressing. But it's Sunday, and there's a world of baristas out there and cafes that I can go to today. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday. What am I thinking? It's not Sunday. Duh. It's Monday. Special Monday. Oh boy. See what touring will do to you? It'll make you lose track of time all time. Which is good. I heard that, it's good. If you don't know what day it is, then you're doing good in your life. Someone told me that once, and I believe that. If you don't know what day it is, that could be good or bad. In my case, hopefully it's good. So, give you guys a round of applause for hanging out with me for a little bit on a Monday, playing some guitar. What else would you rather do? On Monday, Jeffrey Boyle is chilling, and Ozman is same here, enjoying retirements. Yeah, that must be nice. Really, really good. I would like to retire someday. It's almost hard to believe that could actually happen someday, but it'll come someday, hopefully, if I win the lottery. All right. So let's see here. Let's try to go ahead and go through these. Starting on the this C shape. I'm gonna go in order. After a while, you just get used to. You'll start to see them, because if you see the shapes, you see the shapes here. Let me put it down here for you so you can see it. Get rid of this one, because I can't change these in the process. But you see these shapes. You'll just see the scale. You'll see the interval. It's really great to see at these scale positions, because you see all the intervals. You see the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, even up an octave. And up here. G shape right here. I'm gonna move down here for this one, the E shape, and then once again the D shape. Now let's try this loop out. See what this sounds like here. Got a little side stick, my limited drum thing we got here. Gonna put some delay on it. Major scale right there, over a G chord. Oops, how do you like that note? Right there in the middle of the arpeggio. To the A shape right here. shape. About the G shape. Now, in between them, jam a little bit. C shape, A shape. G shape. E shape. D shape. All right. Hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Hit that like button if you are just noodling around through the major scale. That's a kind of a gnarly sound there, but didn't spend much time really prepping this tone. Just kind of went with whatever the pedal was set to, and it's all right. Gnarly's good. So those are the 5 shapes right there of the major scale CAGED system. Any questions about this? Let me know. It's I use these, but I when I first learned the positions in the scales, I learned in a very unorthodox, not really unorthodox, in a way that's kind of, I'm not really, even to this day, I'm not quite sure if it was the best way to learn. And I'll show you real quick. The way I learned the major scales, and I'll just do it in G too to keep it simple, is that, say if it's in G, right here, this, or say right here, the G, right here, which this first one was right, this E shape, which is great, but I learned every mode or every starting point just like that. Like if I went up to the second, if I started on A, it would be like a Dorian, say if it was an A over an A minor chord. And I learned it like this. Oops. Which, you know, to play a scale and to have to go like this, to skip, to go like this, I'm not quite sure how good that is. I mean, there are certain things that you could do that it benefits doing this fingering, but but really not a lot. I mean, over this G, it works. But the whole idea was to go do the same thing here. The same thing here, this is where it gets tricky too. Like this. Like a Phrygian. You see that half step? So anyway, but that's just, I digress for a second, but these positions are pretty good because they don't really do what I just did right here going forward. So if you play the, like the, this shape, excuse me, the C shape, aqua time. The C shape right here, major scale. I mean, it makes sense because it's right here inside the chord shape. But if you went down the pattern in this position, you would be playing over the third degree of the G, over the B. See, initially I would have played it like this, like it would have been like kind of this fourth degree here would be like this. You know, that would have been that like a Lydian. But it's right there in this position. So growing up, when I learned this, I saw that chord inside there, but it was coming from this shape, this position. So, you know, I'm familiar with these positions, but because I had played a different set of positions earlier, which I don't really do too much anymore. But okay, having said all that, let's go back to these. That's if you follow the scale all the way back down again. Same thing with the A shape right here. If you continue going down, like that. So once again, I would have played this scale over here like this, like a Mixolydian scale. So I'm playing I learned playing all of them similar to this major scale, to this E shape. Let's say up here, starting on this note, on the D. So I'm just kind of shifting everything to have that one different note there. But this new scale, this G up here, is right in the middle of that. If I follow through all the way down. See, and then the fingerings go, which is weird. But we're not doing that in this position. We're just going like this. So that would have been like if I would have learned it like this. Which made more sense probably than doing this. Doing just different fingerings, but these make more sense for these shapes. Then up to the G position. It's almost like an E minor scale here, right? But starting on the G. Because it's the relative minor. Starting on the G. Then the D shape. Hopefully that made some sense. I'm kind of rambling on a little bit with that, but yeah, just these 5 positions are really cool. And if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button. So far here we have the this shape, C shape, really popular shape right here. We're playing it in G. G chord, right here. Looks like a C, but it's a G. But if I'm over here, why not learn the major scale? Here, G major scale, in this position. Well, here it is right here. So if you have this backing track, Billion, C major. Sound like the Eagles, right? Major scale. Say you want to play the A shape. If you're over here playing in this way, learn the major scale this way. Same notes. Right in the middle of that arpeggio. How about the G shape right here? So if you're over here for some whatever reason, play the major scale here. So now you're not limited. I mean, we played in 3 places so far. Right here. Try it again. To know right there. Ooh, I played a Lydian right there by accident. I just played an A arpeggio. E shape, I'm down here, I'm gonna play the major scale. Played an arpeggio going up, and and then major scale going down. The rails a little bit, but we're having some fun here today, playing some scales over this. Well, I missed some questions here. Sorry about that. Let me answer some of these here. Starting with the Sigmund Sputnik. What's up? If I played this, it'd be like the best thing I'd ever played. Well, it's just a major scale, but it is a cool thing. It's a major scale. It's everything pretty much, right? Everything's kind of based off of this, but that's very kind. And it's very simple. And if you want a PDF of these graphs, I'll send them over to you. I have to apologize from last week's PDF that I promised. I'm actually working on those, and I'll get those out today as well. But this one's pretty much done already. So if you want a PDF, email me at info@jerrycherry, and I'll send you a PDF of these graphs so you could have them without having to watch this video. You know, just have the PDFs practice too. But that's cool, the Sigmund. And my knees hurt. Keep practicing, Sigmund Sputnik. All right. You'll get it. I suggest learning C major scale in one place. Pretty good. Yep, C major. I mean, I could have did the same exact thing with C. It's all the same. That's what's great about these graphs here, is that it's all the same. They're just shapes. So it doesn't matter what key you're in. I'll just, real quick, I'll take this D shape that we were at right here, right? Or if you did it up here, if you just brought it down to C, look, it's the same exact thing. It's a D-shaped C. So it's a C major scale. Same exact thing. Here it is, starting on the C. The red notes. Same exact thing. Every shape is the same thing. You know, even if you started on the first one, the C shape, C, just like this, up here, the C. C. Just open strings here. Same thing. A shape, C. G shape, C. E shape, C. And there it is again, D shape. So it's the same thing. These shapes are the same for every key, whatever key you could imagine. And there's only 12 of them. So, yep, really, really good question there. Thank you. And great answer for that there. My knees hurt. Guitar Wizard, what's happening? Is this real? This is really good stuff. I got the Essential Skills Collection, and it helped me refocus on learning again. Thank you, Jerry. I'm glad you got that. Thanks for getting the course. My Essential Skills Collection for Guitar course. You'll see that in the description if you're interested in that. Thank you for that. Very, very cool. And, you know, what's interesting about this is that I didn't know I was going to do this actual topic until this morning. I had something else in mind that I was thinking about doing. And then I remembered that I made a note to do this. And I popped it up and it reminded me. I was like, okay, I think I could put this together real quick. You know, so that's what I did. Sometimes it's just like that. You know, when you do these every week, it's like, what are you going to do? But there's so much in music. I mean, it never ends. You do so much stuff. Sam Triton. Sam Triton. Hell yeah. All right. Give you a round of applause for that. Very cool. My knees hurt. Is that thirds? Up 3 notes, back 1, up 3 notes, back 1. I did a little bit of thirds in there. When I did this lick right here, which I don't really do too much of, but it's pretty cool the way it goes into the shapes. Like if I was over here, right, and I did this G chord, E shape right here. If I played that lick like this, or where was I? I think I was doing something like this. I was on this C shape, and I ended up on this G. And then I played this chord, this third right here. And I know that in harmony, I can go up in thirds here. Right? I mean, that's pretty basic. Like, and when I went up to here, if you notice, now I'm in this different shape right here. Excuse my throat, my Peter Brady voice. Now I'm in this shape right here, which is pretty cool. So I can find my octave, my root here, G. So I was in this shape, then ended up here. Here in this G. Just a way to get around. went right through in between two different shapes, from this C shape to this A shape, by playing this little thirds run. And all I'm doing is harmonizing with each other. If I did the major scale, this G major scale, in harmony, I'm just doing the first, second, third. An easy way, the way I remembered how to harmonize the scale is because I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 notes of the diatonic chord. 1, 2, it's a major scale. And I know that off of these root notes that I just played, that the first one is a major, and here's the shape, major. The second one's minor. Third one's minor. Fourth one's major. Fifth one's major. Sixth one's minor. Seventh one's minor, like the octave. So it's really, I'm not thinking that much about it. It's just, there's the shapes. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major. And that's a good way to remember it so you don't forget and get lost up here. It's just shapes. But I'm only taking the first 3. And I wind up going into a different shape, to the G shape. I mean the A shape. And you can continue doing that. If I take this shape right here, this G, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, just like I did that. But starting here, 1, 2, 3. Now look, that puts you in this shape, this E shape. You can go back. Like that. Pretty cool stuff, intertwining these things. And yeah, so those are thirds. It's a good practice. You can get really deep into that stuff, and we will. And remember that Brady Bunch episode where they went to the Grand Canyon, the 2 younger kids put their beans in the flashlight. I remember when they went to the Grand Canyon, but I don't remember them putting their beans in the flashlight. That's pretty funny. So they didn't have to eat their beans. They didn't want to eat their beans. Is that what it was? And they just put them in the flashlight? They put their beans in the flashlight. I don't remember that part. I just remember the Peter Brady episode when his voice jumped up. The octave. So, all right. And now check this out. Now here's another cool thing. If you take another progression, like this one, like a 1, 4, 5. You could play the major scale right through that whole progression. Right there. We start off with the C shape, right here. All right, now what's interesting about this is that when it goes to the 4 chord, you're playing, it's going to an F chord, but you're not playing an F major scale, you're still playing the G major scale. And in a sense, you're playing some kind of mode over there as well. When it goes to the, so if you're playing the F, if you're playing the G major scale, when it goes to the F chord, I'm sorry, I'm in G right here. When it goes to the C chord, you're playing essentially a C Lydian mode right there. So if I played a C and I play those same notes, so you have right there, you have that note. See how that sounds? Without even really thinking about it, you're playing that right there. Just like this, check it out. So, and the same thing over in this other position, right here. In A, if you had the same thing over this same chord progression. Some triads there. Let's see. G chord. So it's basically the same thing over all of the different shapes that you have right there. It's a really, really cool practice. I didn't really want to get too deep into a modal thing right here. I just want to focus on the major scale. But as the chords were changing, I was thinking of what they were and trying to target some notes. It's kind of a natural thing to try to do that. But you know, when you're playing this shape right here, this G chord, or this A shape G scale, when it goes to the C chord, within this shape, within the same exact pattern right here, what happens is I'm playing this G. When it goes to a C, within this scale, well, where is the C in here? Well, here's the G. Here's the C. So I'm kind of targeting the note within the scale, just so that it sounds good right there. So when it goes to C, I'm hitting the C here. and it goes to the G, to a D chord. When it goes to a D chord, there it is right there. But I'm playing all the same notes of the G major scale. So just kind of toying around with it like this. Check it out. See? D. Sorry about that. Going off the rails a little bit, but we're having some fun. We're playing. And I'm moving around the neck probably a little bit more than I should be for this purposes of this. And what do we got here? We have I didn't have any TV growing up, but somehow saw that episode. Isn't that funny? How random is that? That's the one you've seen. I'm gonna have to go onto YouTube and have to pop that in and check out the Grand Canyon Bean episode and Greg Brady's '57 Chevy. That's cool. I love the Brady Bunch, all those shows from those days. Happy Days. Lydian. It's nice. Great mode. And when I got my looper, I would play just one chord for 2 bars and intentionally not make a perfect loop. Really helped me focus on the chord tones. Interesting. In my looper, I would play just one chord for 2 bars and intentionally not make a perfect loop. Okay. So you had 2 bars playing, but you didn't have the loop perfect. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want the loop to be perfect. to focus on chord tones, because I have just one right here. It's just one chord, but it's a perfect rhythm. I would think you'd want that. It's just playing, one chord, which is really good practice to play, all of the scale shapes right there, But whatever works for you. I like to put the rhythm under that because it keeps you honest in a way, It's like, well, you have to have rhythm. You got to play along with rhythm, and you got to land on your feet. You got to land on the downbeats, So without that, without playing a rhythm, if I was just sitting here noodling around, I could do whatever I want, do whatever, land wherever I want. What song comes to mind when you hit a G chord? Whenever I hear just a G chord like this, I always think of REO Speedwagon, of from a friend who. Oh, now I'm gonna get a copyright claim. Same, that's Taking on the Run. Whenever I hear a G chord, I always think of what song do you think of? You could hear there's another song, Matchbox 20 song. What is it? Sorry. Another tune there. Hold on a second. Flat. How about that one? Not gonna follow through. Getting cleansed. When you hear those chords, you're like, I always hear certain songs when I hear certain chords, which is good for pitch memorization. And I would leave blank space. Let's see. I would leave blank space before the loop started. Do a scratch count on 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, that's cool. All right. And the CAGED system is infinitely more logical and infinitely more musical because it keeps you right on top of the chord tones, the scale, and your pitch. Yeah, it's a really, really good framework there. Talked a lot about CAGED system and triads, but not as much playing the major scale within that, which is really kind of a good topic. That's, if you're playing chord changes, you're playing this G major scale, and you go to the 4 chord. Depending on what style of music, you still want to play the G major scale, even though that C is playing. You don't want to switch to the C major scale, because now you're switching keys right there. It's two different modes, two different things. Wouldn't sound right. Played that. See, listen to what would happen if I did that. Over the G scale, I'll play G major scale, and over the C, I'll play C major scale, and over the D, I'll play D major scale. It's not right. The G major scale, C major scale. to this difference. Check this out. C. D. G. I'm playing the G major scale. G major scale starting on C. G major scale starting on D. G major scale. And in a sense, what's happening is, once I leave the G, once I'm playing G major, but once I go to the 4 chord C, by playing the G major scale over the C chord, you're now playing a C Lydian mode, whether you know it or not, because of where the notes of the G major scale land on that C chord. Like for instance, in the G major scale, or right there, if I went down the G major scale, well, that G flat, F sharp, when I go to the C note, that's the sound you get. That's Lydian. It's the sound of Lydian. It's just inevitable. It's just going to happen. Right there. Sounds better up an octave. It's different than a flat 5. It's a sharp 4 because you have the 5th. Right there. So that's the kind of a short modal lesson. The same thing over when you go to the D chord, the 5 chord. You're inevitably playing a Mixolydian mode because you have that D major, but because the G major scale goes right here, G major scale going down. This note right here over the D major scale, D major chord, makes a D7 chord. Which wants to resolve back to the 1. So, I digress to a different type of lesson, a modal lesson there, but all good. So if you're enjoying this, hit that like button. Got a few more minutes here. We'll chat. Hopefully your week is going good. Thanks for spending some time with me here on a Monday. And any ideas for any future lessons, any questions about this, let me know. I'm all ears. I usually go live on Sundays, but I was coming home from a gig in North Dakota. It was in Bismarck, North Dakota. Anybody been to Bismarck, North Dakota? There's really, literally nothing out there. There's nothing. Just feel it's beautiful. There's just hills. And you fly into Bismarck. Of course, there was a layover in Texas. And then I went to Texas and then into Bismarck. Then it's an hour from there to the Fort. It was a Fort Yates. Actually, it was Fort Yates of North Dakota. And it was a casino called Prairie Knights Casino. Really, really cool place. It was fun. But I had to come home yesterday. So that's why we're doing this here today. And it's a really good question right here, too. My niece heard. I feel like if you really know the notes of the neck, the system you are using don't really matter. That's right. 3 notes per string in the CAGED system. And I was going to say that, and thanks for bringing it up, because just real quick, like all of these pertain to 3 notes per string in a way. You just got to shift it around a little bit. Like if I was right here in this first C shape, well, check this out. There's 3 notes per string starting right here. That's the G major scale, 3 notes per string. But here's the major scale within this CAGED shape. So what's better? that's a way of extending it. See right here, you're limited to go this way. But if you switch up here, so go here, then you can go up. So, you know, it's good for fast runs. Triplet type of things. But this fits the shape. It fits the glove. Nice. And you know what they say? If it fits, you must quit. I don't know what they say. That's a bad OJ reference right there. So yeah, it really ties in. Every one of these shapes ties into a 3 notes per string pattern as well. Hey, Jack Spratt, 2333. Referring to my previous point, the problem with 3 notes per string scales is that they will take you away from the position you're playing. Ideal would learn them all. Yeah, that's a great point right there, you know. And you just got to do them all and see what feels right for you, you know. They're all cool, and like you just said, it takes you away from it. So if you're playing this G right here, and you go, and you get taken away from it. Now, where's that position you're in? I mean, it's right here. But now you're up here. And you can come back to it. Same thing with this E shape right here. If you went down like the scale, see, here's where you have to change it up. You play it like this. Starting on this note. So it's a way of extending it. Instead of going like this. Now you're stuck right here, you can't extend. Yeah. You have to slide up. Or if you were up here with this next shape, this D shape, you know what would you do there? You start here, which we already did. Start right there, or this G. I mean, a lot of people play this position, this scale right here, 3 notes per string. But here you play it. So there's so many different ways. So whatever is mostly musical for you, I think that's the best thing. Whatever works, you know. Because there's certain things you could do 3 notes per string. I think, you know, a lot of people will tell you this if you watch a lot of stuff on comparisons within 3 notes per string or CAGED system type scales, is that CAGED system type of scales seem to be a little bit more melodic in your process, your thought process, I guess, for me. It would be like, because here you see you're really looking at the chord tones when you're playing the scale this way. So I'm really seeing, you know, the intervals a bit more. As opposed to more of a scalar. I'm not really looking at the intervals as much. You know. I guess ultimately, seeing them all together as one would be what you're looking for. I think if you learned how to play major scale in multiple different ways all over the neck, then you'll just start to see just the notes of the key you're in all over the neck, and you'll start to see the intervals all over the neck. And then you're not thinking scalally, you're just kind of thinking musically, and how do I make each note sound as good as I can get it to sound? I think that's ultimately what is important right there, right? Makes sense. But these positions are really good to know. These CAGED system, which is the whole point of this video, is to really know every shape. You know, the C shape right here, major scale. Because you're going to be here. That's the whole idea. That's really what's important here too, is that you're here, you're playing here. Know the scale. You're playing here. No, here. You're playing here. No, played here. You're playing here. You're here. So it's really cool, especially in a context of a chord progression. When you're playing like a G, a C, a D, a C, G. Like. Playing it in, doing the same thing in all positions. I like to talk about playing 1-4-5 progressions in every shape you could as well. It's good stuff. All right. I have to go buy a new phone. I'd rather hang out and talk cool guitar stuff, but then 10 years of my life, my phone has finally died. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. My knees hurt. Thanks for hanging out on a Monday. Very, very cool of you. Jack Spratt. You could end up with the same chord, but you'll often be an octave higher or lower that could jar the chord smoothness of chord progression. Yeah, it's a really good point. I think ultimately you want it to sound smooth, you know, having the same textures, going into different notes. You don't want to jump too much out of the way, like you said. End up that can jar the chord. Good choice of words. Jar the chord smoothness. Very well said. F major, 3 notes per string in 3 octaves is a 12 fret jump. Yeah, F major, 3 notes per string in 3 octaves is a 12 fret jump. Yeah, is it? F major, 3 notes per string in 3 octaves is a 12 fret jump. Well, I just know the F 3 notes per string like this. Depends on what you're talking about there. If you're playing in F major in 3 octaves, I'm playing in 2 octaves. You did it like that. You're right, 12. Exactly 12 frets. Up the whole neck. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So I think I've gone over a little bit here today, but thank you guys for hanging out with me here today. Really appreciate it. Jack, and My Knees Hurts, and Guitar Wizard, and everybody who spent some time here with me on a Monday. Jeffrey Boyle, and Sam, Triton. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Finney, everybody. So if you haven't checked out my guitar course, Essential Skills Collection for Guitar, I would appreciate that. It's just tell you about it real quick. It just has 4 topics. Fretboard memorization, easiest way to learn the fretboard. Circle of Fifths does the same thing, but it shows you how to play easily in 12 different keys, all different keys. And blues soloing, where we focus on vibrato and bending strings and how to play over 12-bar blues. So there's lots of chord progressions, lots of PDFs and backing tracks. And then we work on the CAGED system with 2-5-1s. How to do those shapes all over the neck as well. So check that out. There's a link in the description for that. I would appreciate that. And thank you so much for spending some time here with me. Really, really, really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Let me know if you have any questions about this stuff. If you have any gripes, any concerns. You keep that to yourself. No, I'm just kidding. And any ideas for future. I go live every Sunday. And when I can't, I usually push it a day back if I'm coming home. But I think next week, I'll be here on Sunday. Let's just check that out real quick. Next Sunday, I will be here for sure. So next Sunday, same bat time, same cherry time, same cherry channel. But that's here on Sunday, not Monday. And keep those ideas coming in the comment section when you can. That'd be really cool. And Matt Gray, that SG looks good and sounds sweet. I know, I love this guitar. I just had it set up. It wasn't even really playing that bad. I just needed an excuse to go to my favorite music store and 30th Street Guitars on 27th Street. I mean, I love Rudy's too in Soho, but I'm in Brooklyn, by the way, and a couple great music stores in Manhattan, and just had it set up, so it's playing really good. The telly's buzzing a little bit, so it's like, all right, I'll just play this one. Now, my Strat's the one I usually bring on the road with me, because it's just a lot of airplanes and I have to throw it in the overheads, and it's a pretty solid guitar. Been kind of afraid to take this lately, but you're right. Thank you. You're right. It looks sweet. It sounds sweet. Well, thank you for that. And I've been here. Some guy just listening. All right. Well, it's so good to see you. Thanks. Well, I'm glad you like the SG. I love this guitar for sure. All right. So anyway, guys, if you want to see another video, well, first of all, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. And if you want to see another video on how to connect the 5 major pentatonic scales with the CAGED system, I'll put that up there for you. Have a great week. I love yous, and I'll see you next time. Peace, guys. Yeah.